From riches to rags, these rappers' stories will leave you shook. If you think that rappers enjoy fame and fortune all the time, you're wrong. Join us as we dive into the top 10 rappers who went broke, where flashy lifestyles and poor financial decisions led to their downfall. Number 1. MC Hammer. MC Hammer, whose real name is Stanley Kirk Burrell, rose to fame in the late 80s and early 90s with his hit songs like You Can't Touch This and Too Legit to Quit. At the height of his career, he was worth an estimated $33 million, and his flashy lifestyle reflected his wealth. He owned a mansion in Northern California, a fleet of luxury cars, and even his own record label. However, Hammer's lavish spending habits and poor financial management would eventually lead to his downfall. In the early 90s, he had over 200 staff, including chefs, bodyguards, and even a personal photographer. He spent over $500,000 a month just to maintain his lifestyle. To make matters worse, Hammer was also involved in several failed business ventures, including a clothing line and a record label, which resulted in significant losses. His attempts to diversify his income streams proved too costly and unsustainable. In 1996, Hammer filed for bankruptcy with debts of over $13 million. He was forced to sell his mansion, cars, and record label. He was also forced to declare bankruptcy again in 2013 due to financial difficulties. MC Hammer is currently worth $2 million. Number 2. Lil Kim. Lil Kim, with real name Kimberly Denise Jones, rose to fame in the late 90s and early 2000s with hit songs like Crush on You and Lady Marmalade. Her success led to a lavish lifestyle, including multiple homes, luxury cars, and designer clothes. In 2008, Lil Kim's finances plummeted when she was sentenced to a year and a day in prison for perjury and conspiracy charges. During her time in prison, her income stream was severely limited and her finances suffered. After her release, she faced a massive $4 million tax bill, which she could not pay. In 2018, Lil Kim filed for bankruptcy, citing debts of over $4 million, including $2 million in back taxes and penalties. Lil Kim is currently worth $500,000. Number 3. Nelly. Nelly, also known as Cornell Iral Haynes Jr., rose to fame in the early 2000s with hits like Country Grammar and Hot in Hair. He quickly became among the best-selling rappers, with over 20 million albums sold worldwide. He also diversified his income by investing in various businesses, including a clothing line and a sports team. Then again, Nelly's fortunes were hit with a $2.4 million tax bill in 2013. He also faced other financial difficulties, including legal battles and poor investments, which caused him to lose millions of dollars. In 2016, he was forced to sell his mansion in Missouri for a fraction of its original price. In the same year, Nelly filed for bankruptcy, citing debts of over $10 million. Despite his significant earnings over the years, poor financial management and legal issues led to his downfall. Nelly is currently worth $8 million. Number 4. DMX. DMX, or Earl Simmons, rose to fame in the late 90s and early 2000s, with hits like Rough Riders Anthem and X-Gon Give It To Ya. The late rapper quickly became one of his generation's most popular and respected rappers. His success led to a lavish lifestyle that included multiple homes, luxury cars, and private jets. When the 2000s came, DMX's finances took a deep dive due to legal issues and poor financial decisions. He was arrested numerous times on charges ranging from drug possession to animal cruelty. He also failed to pay millions of dollars in taxes, resulting in the seizure of his assets. In 2013, DMX filed for bankruptcy, citing debts of over $10 million. He claimed to have only $50,000 in assets at the time, including a BMW, a few pieces of jewelry, and some clothing. According to reports, he also owed over $1.2 million in child support and back taxes. He was worth negative $1 million before his death. Number 5. Fat Joe. Joseph Antonio Cartagena, aka Fat Joe, rose to fame in the late 90s and early 2000s with hits like What's Love and Lean Back. He quickly became one of the most successful rappers of his generation, selling millions of records and collaborating with top artists. Like most broke rappers on our list, Fat Joe's financial troubles began to pile up due to poor financial management and legal issues. He faced a series of tax liens and was hit with a $700,000 tax bill in 2010. He also lost money on bad investments, including a failed sneaker store and co-owned restaurant. In 2013, Fat Joe was sentenced to 4 months in prison for tax evasion, during which his income stream was severely limited. After his release, he was forced to sell his luxury Miami home and other assets to pay off his debts. In 2020, Fat Joe admitted that he was still paying off his debts related to his financial troubles and had learned a valuable lesson about the importance of properly managing his finances. Fat Joe is currently worth $4 million. Let's move to the next half after you subscribe to the channel by clicking the red button. Click the notification bell so you'd be notified whenever we release a new video. Number 6. Ja Rule. Jeffrey Bruce Atkins, more famously known as Ja Rule, enjoyed a successful career in the late 90s and early 2000s, with hits like Always on Time and Livin' It Up. He also had business ventures outside of music, including a clothing line and a record label. Like the others, his financial troubles included legal issues and failed business ventures. In 2011, he was sentenced to 2 years in prison for tax evasion, during which his income stream was severely limited. He also faced lawsuits about his involvement in the infamous Fyre Festival, which left attendees stranded on a remote island. In 2018, Ja Rule filed for bankruptcy, citing debts of over $2 million. He claimed to have only $100,000 in assets, including his music catalog and a few pieces of jewelry. Ja Rule is currently worth $4 million. Number 7. 50 Cent. 50 Cent, or Curtis James Jackson III, rose to fame in the early 2000s with hits like In the Club and 21 Questions. He also had successful business ventures, including a record label, headphones, and energy drinks. 50 Cent faced a $5 million lawsuit over using a sample in one of his songs and a lawsuit from a woman who claimed he posted a sex tape of her online without her consent. In 2015, 50 Cent filed for bankruptcy, citing debts of up to $50 million. One good thing is that he reached a settlement with his creditors and restructured his finances, allowing him to continue his successful career in music and business. 50 Cent is currently worth $40 million. Number 8. Young Buck. Young Buck, whose real name is David Darnell Brown, enjoyed success as a member of G-Unit in the early 2000s, with hits like Stomp and Shorty Wanna Ride. In 2010, he was arrested on gun charges and sentenced to 18 months in prison. During his time behind bars, he faced financial difficulties, including a failed attempt to buy out his recording contract with G-Unit Records. In 2012, Young Buck filed for bankruptcy, citing debts of over $10 million. Despite his financial struggles, Young Buck has continued to release music and tour, although his career has not reached the same level of success as his early days with G-Unit. Young Buck is currently worth $100,000. Number 9. Exhibit. Exhibit, or Alvin Nathaniel Joyner, rose to fame in the late 1990s and early 2000s with hit songs like Paparazzi and X. He also had a successful acting career, appearing in movies like 8 Mile and the TV series Empire. In 2009, he filed for bankruptcy, citing debts of over $1 million. According to court documents, Exhibit owed over $900,000 in back taxes and had credit card debts and other unpaid bills. He also claimed that he had less than $50,000 in assets at the time. Since his bankruptcy, Exhibit has continued to release music and act, but he has not reached the same level of success as in his earlier years in the industry. Exhibit is currently worth $500,000. Number 10. Bow Wow. Bow Wow, also known as Shad Gregory Moss, rose to fame as a child rapper in the late 1990s and early 2000s, with hit songs like Bounce With Me and Bow Wow, That's My Name. He later transitioned to acting, appearing in movies like Mike and the TV series CSI Cyber. In 2012, he was sued for unpaid taxes. And in 2019, a video went viral showing Bow Wow performing in an empty nightclub, which led to criticism and speculation about his financial situation. Bow Wow later addressed the video on social media, stating that it was a last-minute show and that the club was supposed to be packed. Bow Wow is currently worth $1.5 million. See you in our next video, and always remember, Invictus Luxury, for people who want more.